The DMV Hoops Podcast.
This is Jonathan Scribner, head girls basketball coach at St. John's College High School, and this is the DMV Hoops Podcast.
Welcome to the DMV Hoops Podcast. I'm your host, Kurt Cross. Joined with me, as always, is Adam Crain, but we've got a guest here. We're at day 2 of Summer League. That's the Capital Hoops Summer League at DeMatha. And with us right now, we have none other than Big East legend, Mr. John Duren. Mr. Duren, how you doing, sir?
Oh, wonderful.
My man,
wonderful.
legend in the house.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
Hoops never gets old, does it?
Wait, Kurt, hold on a second. This is why I love DeMatha and the Summer League.
Why is that?
We're here. This is our first podcast.
Right.
Day 1 for us, day 2 of the Summer League. We kept all these high school teams. And who walks by the table? John Bebe Duren. Now, let me just tell you, he's a modest cat.
Let me give this man some applause.
You better give him a lot of applause. This guy, let me tell you something. Of anybody in this gym, this cat is the best guard ever. Not only is the number 8, he was voted number 8 best player at Georgetown University in Georgetown basketball, Georgetown University history, the 8th best player to ever play at Georgetown.
Right.
Played in the NBA for 12 years.
Right.
Played with Crain.
Right.
And they call him Bebe.
Right.
He doesn't even know his name is John anymore. It's called Bebe. Now, right. John, why do they call you Bebe?
That's baby boy of the family. That's my mom gave me that name when I was about 4 or 5 years old.
Okay.
You know,
all right.
baby girl, Bay Jane, Bay sis. You know, it's a little thing that black people used to do back in the day.
As long as they don't call you late for dinner, right?
Yeah. Make sure you do that.
Sir, I don't have questions ready because I didn't expect to have you on my podcast.
No problem.
So I'm very happy about that.
Yes.
But we're here watching Summer League. You know, Summer League this is where dreams go, right?
Yes.
We have the live period coming up in a few weeks, and all these kids want to play at the next level. If you were in this gym right now and you had everyone's attention, give me a couple things you would tell them to prepare them for what's next after high school if they really want to play.
Well, one thing you got to tell them is that now, compared to when I played, fortunately and unfortunately, it's a business now.
Right, okay.
It's a business.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
And you got to understand that it's a business. If you got a cousin that's a coach and got a sister that's an agent, at some point they can't help you.
Right, okay.
You know,
right.
if the guy or the girl can't play, you're not going to get no scholarship.
Right, okay.
I don't care who you know.
Right.
Because that coach got to understand that he has to win.
Okay.
Because the shoe contracts, the schools, they all in bed together.
Right.
And, you know, you can sit there and cry on the bench like we used to.
Right.
Okay, that's cool. But now, most of the time, especially in college, you're getting a buck.
Right.
This is your job. This is your job now.
Now, in your day, it was, scholarship. It was some opportunities. We're not going to talk about what happened before NIL came out and all of that. But you worked.
Oh, yeah.
And if you didn't get to start, you didn't get the minutes you wanted, you got to work some more.
You got to work. And a lot of times, sometimes with the young kids, if they real good, they get pampered a lot because the AAU coaches have this pressure that the shoe companies say, well, is Michael Jordan coming? Is Magic coming? You
right.
say, well, no. I mean, who you got? Is LeBron James there?
Right. Right.
So even if LeBron James don't want to come to practice, they tell you, well, if he don't play,
right.
I'm not giving you that shoe money.
Okay.
Right. Because a lot of them are making money.
What you got, Adam?
I was going to say, John Duren, you were a star in high school. You were a star at Georgetown University for 4 years. You were a great guard on several NBA teams.
Right.
What's the biggest difference right now? How has NIL money and revenue sharing affected kids and the playing as a team? I heard from some coaches that say kids don't know how to pass anymore. Kids don't know how to read the defender. And Bebe, John Duren, when I watch you, I think of Jalen Brunson. In fact, Jalen Brunson is a modern-day John Duren.
Correct.
You did in the NBA what Jalen Brunson's doing now. You're 6'2". Well, you used to be 6'2".
Yeah.
But you're strong as a bull.
I was 215.
You were strong as a bull. You leverage your body. Nobody better than Jalen Brunson. Why do kids don't? Is it true the kids don't know how to pass anymore? Kids can't read the defender. They're not playing like a team. What's going on?
Let's start off with some of the coaching. I don't think that in the NBA the coaching is that great.
Okay.
You understand? They move the players so much around.
Right.
And when we played, you had to run the offense.
Right.
Now Bronson, he's pretty much freelance. You don't know when I pass, you checking me, you already know I was going to the left corner or to the right corner.
Right.
Then Agent Danley was going to pop up front and he was going to get the ball.
Right.
So I can do all that crossing over that. They'll just stand and look at me and say, okay, now pass and go to the corner.
Right.
Whereas now it's more open because it's more entertainment now.
And let's talk about high school, though. Now, high school level, right? The high school coaches are saying a lot of these kids don't know how to pass. They go to AAU. All it is about getting their points. So they get noticed by college to go after the money, to try to get noticed, get picked up. It's all social media. It's all about me.
Yes.
They don't know how. In high school, when you played high school, you were the point guard and you ran the team and you shared the ball. You weren't trying to just score. You played like a team. You played defense. Like a like a beast.
Right.
Is it true that kids don't know how to play team ball anymore because of NIL? Is that true?
No, it's not because of NIL. It's because of AAU, the shoe companies, and those things, and the marketing. But you got to understand, when I grew up, we played on the playground.
Okay.
Turkey Thicket? Tell me about Turkey
Thicket.
My man.
Sherwood, number 2 boys club.
Right.
And just regular neighborhood guys that's
Candy Cane Park.
Yeah.
You were down at Candy Cane Park.
Yeah.
With Crain.
Yeah.
And Danley.
And they didn't have ambitions to be super great.
Okay.
But while they was out there, these guys told you when the score if the game is 11 and it's 10-10, they sit there, they call a huddle and say, no layups. Everybody check your man.
Oh. You have to play deep? You mean defense?
That's old school.
D.
Right.
That's old school.
Okay, hey, don't let nobody go around you. You just check your man. I got my man. Everybody D up.
So that's old school. I love that.
Mr. Duren, because you're not John. You're Mr. Duren.
He's Bebe.
Here's the thing. When you say check your man, so you wasn't calling for help.
No help.
Wasn't no help coming from the weak side.
Stick their man.
We ain't doing no zone.
Right. And then there was times on offense when they left somebody open, and we would say, you got to shoot the ball.
You got to.
You got to shoot it.
Right.
We know you can't hardly shoot. We think you can, but you got to shoot the ball.
Right.
So now these guys be able to get creative, but also other people would tell you, oh, man, you pretty good. You play high school, you play college. I tell people all the time, I used to go play pickup when I was at Georgetown, and I would see guys like, yo, man, what school you go to? Yeah, because the playground is different from these kids. Everything they do is structured.
Right.
It is, right.
They don't ever get their own identity.
You know, my kids make fun of me because I used to watch the Turkey Thicket games.
Right.
And when nightfall comes, you climb that pole, you turn them lights on, and you keep playing, right?
You keep right on playing.
So there's that's right. And there's no such thing as a playground legend anymore.
No.
Because you don't have kids playing a playground anymore.
No, they're on the...
They're
Christmas time, Thanksgiving, they arguing. I'm thinking they're going out and play, and then they go get on those
the smartphones.
The smartphones.
The Nintendo and all that.
Nintendo. That's what they play. I said, that's what y'all playing.
Right.
That's right.
I mean, you know, I'm from the project Certain Quarters, and we used to hear balls bouncing all day, all night.
Exactly.
You don't hear that no more in the inner city kids. Nobody's bouncing that ball.
Right.
I'm the kid that was watching y'all because I had no skill set. So I got behind the mic. I learned the game so I could talk about the game.
Yes.
So we watch people like you.
Right.
And you know, Big Man University is Georgetown. That's home for you.
Yes.
And we're talking to Dikembe, we're talking Patrick, we're talking Alonzo. Othello did some things.
Othello, Craig Shelton, Briggs, Mike Ray. We have a bunch of guys.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you for being a part of. My wife is from Buffalo, New York.
Oh,
okay?
Buffalo, yeah.
She had a Georgetown starter jacket or a sweatshirt because Georgetown was it, 83, 84, 85, you know.
Especially for black men all around the country.
Right.
They all could identify with us with Coach Thompson. We beat Alabama in the Holiday Festival in New York City.
I remember that.
And they thought we was a black school.
Right.
I remember that. They thought you were
Big John.
school.
Yeah, they thought we was HBC. Yeah, they thought, Big John. Yeah.
Hey, Coach, John, let me ask you this, baby. You say everybody's training. The training back in the day, they weren't going to the weight room and lifting weights. They were going to the playground and playing with each other and learning how to communicate and talk and play defense. Now today,
and I got next, right?
Today they go to their trainer by themselves
Yes.
and do speed training and jumping training. What? And they don't know how to play. A lot of coaches say you don't know how to play part of the team.
Tell us, baby.
Tell us about that.
I'll tell you something, man. Coach Thompson would come around after the season, most time on a Saturday, and somebody would knock on my door. They say, "Oh, Coach wants you, Big John outside." "Oh, okay, Coach. Where he at?" "Oh, he's in the car." In Surgeon Quarter, I go out there, get in the car, and we would ride around to different playgrounds through the city.
Okay.
And we would just sit in the car and go to Turkey City and go to Sherwood and go to Watts and Palmer Park. Just sit
Barry
outside
Farms.
and Barry Farms.
Come on, man. Palmer Park?
Yeah,
Not-
just watching guys.
That's where I lived over off Sheriff Road for a hot minute.
Yeah. We would just sit and just watch guys play because of the fact you really get to see who they are.
Right.
Also, we would also go down to Lawton
Right.
Correction Center, whatever that big behind the wall.
Right.
And he used to take us down there and we played. Me and Sleepy went down and played
Sleepy
2-on-2,
Floyd. That's Eric
1-on-1
Floyd.
with the guys. So he loved
That's a
that
different basketball. That's a different
because he
basketball.
knew one thing: those guys was in shape.
Yeah, that's right.
And they did miss.
Right.
Yeah. Hey,
7 years.
Yeah, let me
shoot
yeah,
that
let me-
jumper.
Hey, another thing I just thought of. When I grew up watching you, and before you, a couple of the guys in the 70s and 80s. I remember these guys. I saw these guys playing on playgrounds too, because I was a big fan. They don't call fouls. And today, everybody's looking for the call.
Oh, my
okay,
God.
So today, they're crying, they're whining. Give me the call. They're faking the bump. They're faking this.
Yeah.
They're trying
Even
to get
in
the
the
call.
league.
But back in the day, y'all didn't call a foul.
No.
Y'all played through it.
No.
Back in the day. That was a different kind of defense. Talk about that. Well, how is it playing, even in high school, different back in the day?
Well,
Playing defense, playing through the foul, not looking for the call. How is that different?
Because the difference is, I just told you, we played on the playground. They were, you had a little rec ball, a little boys club ball, but most of our playing after school was pretty much on playgrounds.
Right.
And everything was physical, and everything, or you couldn't call bad fouls. No, man, that's no foul. You're not getting that. All right, okay.
Right.
You'll see when you drive. When he drive, I foul him.
Right.
And they say, okay, let's just play. Let's just play.
That's what
so
it is.
most of it comes from we already are playing a physical game on the playground.
There it is right there.
And that's lost. It's a different culture today.
Different
baby.
culture. These kids never play outside.
They don't play outside. Would you agree it's a softer culture? It's more individual oriented, and it's not as tough.
Look here, the difference is, and I tell people all the time, these kids got more options.
Right.
We talk about the 70s.
Right. These kids don't want to get their Jordans dirty, right?
We're talking about the 70s.
You playing Chuck Taylors, you don't care, right?
Life was a little different.
Right. Life was a
And
little
I
different.
don't know, I mean, when you look at the NBA, I think they don't even let the physical white boys in the league.
Right.
It's all Europeans.
Right,
Where's
right,
the Larry
right.
Birds and the Tom Chambers and the Chris Mullins?
The Kurt Rambuses,
and the Chris
Bill
Rambuses
Lambers,
and where they at?
they ain't there.
They ain't in the league either.
They stepping out to 23-9 and they want to shoot that three.
Yeah, they ran them out.
But Larry Bird
The
would touch
league-
you up, right?
If you physical, there's no enforcers. There's no shot blockers.
There's no Rick Mahorns.
There's nobody. So they don't want that.
So, Bebe, you talked about how AAU is a little bit kind of a negative influence in a lot of ways with the shoe contract, etc. But now we're on hyper steroids with the NIL money is through the roof. And the NIL money is now in high school. So kids are getting paid to get revenue sharing money in the high school. What's the good and bad and ugly of all that? How does that play out? What do you think about that?
The bad is that one thing back in the day, if a kid couldn't read or write, he coming from a different background, projects, whatever it might have been. He might have been a little special ed, retarded. They would still let kids on colleges on campus because there's so many other things that they learn, how to be on time, how to work with others, how to deal with authority. So now that it's a money game, if you don't come to practice and you my best guy, I'm still gonna let you play.
That's right.
Right.
And a lot of times it's not the kids, it's the parents.
Right.
If I'm only sending you to a school
Right.
just because they paying you, I'm pretty much turning you into a whore. That's what it ended up being. Because there's so many other things that you need to be successful other than money.
Yeah, that's 100% right. 100%. I got to tell you something. I got to take a time out here. this is the first podcast we've done in DeMatha High School. This high school is the most storied high school arena in the nation.
Of all
It's
time.
the best all-time best high school
I would say in the world.
It is.
Yes,
and it is year after year, if you go back 5 decades, DeMatha was the best high school in the country. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah,
Would
no
you
question.
agree?
No question,
We have,
100%.
in our first podcast at DeMatha for the first day of Summer League, we have not only celebrity, a high school, college, Georgetown
DMV legend.
not only a DMV legend, he's an NBA legend. This is literally about as big time as you get to have John
I gotta
Duren
give
on our show.
more applause. Give him more applause.
To have
Mike Krzyzewski, I played on the USA team, and I got coached by Bobby Knight and Mike Krzyzewski. How many people can say that?
Well, 100%. Now, I got a question for our man.
We are live. The
I
basketball
got a
just
question
bust
for
me in my
Bebe.
head.
Now, Bebe, I know what the answer is going to be because I know Bebe. Now, listen, Bebe. If I would, we talked about DeMatha, right? We talked about DeMatha. All right. Now, who was the best? Tell me, what high school team was the best high school team ever to play? Ever. What's the best high school team ever?
Daryl Prue is in on this one.
Ever.
DMV?
No, not the DMV, in the country. Tell me the best high school team.
I probably would say
And I know the answer, and I know what he's going to say because he's old school.
DeMatha.
Okay, was the second best team. He says DeMatha. DeMatha. Wait. Hold on. Let me give you a hint.
Okay.
You go north of the DMV, 1981, Georgetown was the next step for 3 of them. Tell me what was... Yeah! Dunbar Poets! You got it!
But that was 83.
81. It was 81. We got Prue coming on next. That was the Dunbar Poets. Prue knows. Hey, Dunbar Poets. Now, hey, Prue, could the Dunbar Poets beat DeMatha? With Muggsy, Garden, ball pressure, Wingate, Reggie Lewis. You gonna tell me some team from DeMatha is gonna beat the Dunbar Poets in 1981? Hell no. Dunbar wins, right?
Dunbar wins. Anthony Jones.
There you go.
We got
there you go.
controversy on the
There you go.
podcast.
You know, Muggsy and Nader never beat Skip Wise. They was too big.
But that's right. But
Skip Wise is the one that beat DeMatha.
Skip Wise, yeah, speaking of the mic.
Skip Wise is Dunbar and
okay.
Baltimore. They beat DeMatha.
That's right.
But Adrian Dantley and all the guys.
Was the best on-ball defender in high school. The best, beside baby John Duren, the best on-ball defender in high school ever was Muggsy Bogues. Muggsy Bogues.
Who you got,
Who's
baby?
better than Muggsy
Mike
Bogues?
Riley.
Mike Riley, he's
Who's
telling
Mike
you.
Riley?
He's telling you right now.
Who's Mike Riley?
Riley was coach at Georgetown and a player at Georgetown.
Yeah.
Wait, you're going to tell me
Played at
Mike
Cadoza.
Riley's a better on-ball defender than Muggsy Bogues?
Yes.
Muggsy Bogues,
Did you see him?
You never saw him,
I
Adam.
never saw him. But how could there be a better on-ball defender than Muggsy Bogues?
Muggsy was a good player on the ball, right? If you move without the ball on Muggsy, he got a problem.
You're hearing it right here.
Okay.
You're hearing
All
it
right,
right
okay,
here.
all right.
Now,
I'm
as
gonna
long as you
take
got the
because you're
ball,
John
you're
Duren.
challenging Muggsy.
Post Muggsy really quick. We had a hard time with G.
No, but I'm talking about when you're trying to bring the ball up. John Wall from Camden is trying to bring the ball up, making fun of Muggsy Bogues as he's so short. Muggsy Bogues stripped him 3 times in a row, his first 3 times up the court. If you're trying to bring the ball up the court, who do you not want guarding you? Bringing
Mike
the ball
Riley.
up.
Mike
Damn,
Riley.
I don't even know who this cat is.
He's not going to change his answer, brother.
All right,
He
fine.
told
All
you
right,
who
well,
it is.
yeah,
Mike
John
Riley,
Duren. John Duren knows.
If they did a statistic on taking charges, see, Mike Riley took charges. Muggsy never took charges. Muggsy should have took charges, but he never took charges.
All right. Well, all right. Well,
You
you're
gotta
John
do some
Duren. You know
research.
better than I do. I tell you that.
I see a
look up
dunk
this
coming,
guy.
going that way.
My man.
There it is right there.
Yeah, Mike
Folks,
Riley was a beast.
Okay.
we've got Big East legend, NBA legend, DMV legend. John Duren is right here on the podcast. The DMV Hoops Podcast, Mr. Duren, because I'm not going to call you John. I'm not going to call you John.
Bebe.
Mr.
Bebe.
Duren, we appreciate you being here. We love that you are here.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate it.
come back and see us sometime, hopefully, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Bebe.
That's
Thank you,
DMV
Bebe.
The
Hoops
DMV
Podcast.
Hoops Podcast is hosted by Kirk Cross, featuring Adam Crain. Thanks for listening.